Thank you. If you would please join us in our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone that's here in the sanctuary, and good morning to all of you watching us at home. We hope you enjoy our service, and we're glad you're here, all of you. If this is your first time for being here, or if you've only come for a short time, please stop and talk to Linda Kittle. She can answer questions about Unity. She has a packet of information and a coffee mug to share with you. Please check in on Facebook. Tell your friends, here I am. Wish you were here. And then please silence your phone. Today's beautiful flowers are provided by Amy and Lisa in celebration and appreciation of Sue. And here's their message to you, Sue. We are forever grateful for your leadership and guidance. For over 11 years, you have inspired and motivated us to do our work and lives are truly better because of you. You are a blessing we didn't know we needed, and we just want to say thank you. We love you, and congratulations. Please join me in the mission statement. The words are up on the screen. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. Let's speak the affirmation for today's daily word. I live in the ageless life of God in the eternal now. Life is meant to be rich, happy, and fulfilling, not at some future date, but now. Life is meant to be lived fully, completely, and joyously in the glorious today. I do not live in unhappy memories of the past. I do not live over and over again past sorrows or disappointments. Neither do I look to the future for my good and my happiness, always believing that they are just ahead of me. I live now. This is the day that the Lord has made. I rejoice and I am glad in this day. I look for the good. I extract the good. I give thanks for the good in the present moment. I live now in glorious today, happiness, joy, life, peace, plenty, and all the good of which I can conceive are here now and are mine. I do not postpone blessings to some future time or distant place. I live in the ageless life of God, in the eternal now. My thoughts and my energies are concentrated on today's living, and I find blessings on every hand. Please join me, the scriptures 118:24. Together, this is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Let's repeat the affirmation together. I live in the ageless life of God in the eternal now. As Sue rings the prayer bowl, please hold the following people in prayer for their highest and best: Jim, G, Steve, Carolyn, Peggy, Ron, Michael, Brett, Bianca, Leslie, Allie, Carol, Susan, Carolyn, Penny, Charlie, Austin, and Robert. Bring anyone to mind you would like to be prayed for today. Let's sing our thoughts or prayers. As the sounds and vibrations coming from our prayer bowl fill the sanctuary, allow them to be absorbed in our bodies, our minds, our souls, and let them remind us of the Christ's presence within that dwells within each and every one of us. Take a deep breath, visualizing your connection with Spirit. Send and receive hope, peace, and love to all the people around you and reaching out to every person on this earth. Ignoring sounds and movement around us, we begin to relax our minds and bodies, centering ourselves for prayer and meditation. Beginning at the crown of your head, release tension in your mind and body. Follow your focus to your forehead, eyes, ears, lips, tongue, and jaw. Taking a deep breath, hold, and exhale. Follow your attention to your neck and shoulders, down your arms, wrists, and fingers, intentionally relaxing as you go. Move down through your spine and lower back, your thighs, calves, ankles, and toes. Remind yourself to relax and let go. Breathe. We affirm the highest and best for the names on the prayer list, for healing, prosperity, guidance, safety, and peace of mind. We embrace these prayers not only for ourselves, but also our families, our friends, and let them move out to every person. We share our love, strength, and support with all who have recently been affected by spring storms. We surround the world and our country, our personal friends and family with love and light. We support diversity, equity, and inclusion for all. We support peace and harmony in the Middle East, Ukraine, Africa, Asia, and South America. We visualize food, health care, and shelter for those in need here and around the world. We visualize basic needs met, inner peace and happiness for all. We bless our brothers and sisters in Thailand and Myanmar who have been ravaged by earthquakes. We remain calm, peaceful, and loving in spite of the divisive attitudes we may be experiencing in the United States. We forgive those we believe have transgressed against us, and we forgive ourselves for any regrets of our own. We clear any blocks to our well-being. Our minds are to our flow of love and prosperity. First for ourselves, then to our families and anyone or thing that we may hold in judgment or resentment. We are assured by the words of Jesus that we are loved. We are whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are right here, right now. We choose to love ourselves and know that we are worthy of all good. We choose to bless others with our love, our light, as we spread gratitude for all of life, health, abundance, loving relationships, harmony, and inner peace. We choose to contribute from a loving heart to a consciousness of global oneness. We affirm we live a rich, happy, and fulfilling life now. We live our lives fully, completely, and joyously today. Spirit, we choose to live happily today, not in the past nor the future, but in the divine now. We ask for spiritual guidance as to how we can live more fully in the now and rejoice in it, in the silence.
Good morning, Unity of Springfield. It's so good to see all of you here today. I wish I could see all of you online, but I know that you're there, and we're so grateful that you're with us today as well. How many of us are alive today? Okay, some of you didn't raise your hands, so I'm kind of wondering. Here's the thing, even for those who have crossed over, we know they're alive as well, right? So they're probably sitting in the seats beside you, and they raise their hand. So the title of today's talk is Living and Loving Life Now. And we're going to focus on this two ways today. The first way is we're going to be talking about the power of life that our co-founder Charles Fillmore talks about in the 12 Powers of Man. So God is the life force that flows through me. Let's say this together. God is the life force that flows through me. And I think, how many times do we really stop and settle into that and know that? Because a lot of other things with our bodies want to get attention, right? Yeah, and when we can keep our minds focused on, God is the life force that is flowing through me. God is what is animating me. He says in his book that life is my power to restore, to heal, to mend, to procreate, to regenerate, vitalize, and energize. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, my life power is always present within me. It does not grow old, wither, or pass away. Yeah. Now, our bodies may mature, right? I haven't seen anybody's body not mature. We could call it age. But that life force is always ageless within us. God as life is the animating activity of our minds and bodies. It was us before we manifested in this physical realm, and it will continue to be us when we lay this physical garment aside. So this body, my friends, it's my soul's address. And I love the thought that my body is the temple of my soul. My body is the temple. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. That my body is the temple of my soul. And so really, it kind of comes down to that my soul, or the Holy Spirit is the activity of God, is the animating life of God within me. That's why we say that, I'm not all that God is, but all that I am is God. Because without this animating life force, I would not be present here, right? You would not be present here. So in the 12 powers, well, he already said that. Well, no, he didn't. Okay, the life power itself is ageless, formless, and forever unfolding. So I want to do clarity here that illness is not a failure, my friends. So please don't take illness as ever being a failure, and death is not an end. And we know that. Death is simply, our life is, if we get to be here and we get to have whatever time we get to have here, then we lay the body aside, but we are eternal beings. But what I'm pointing to here today is that while we are here, do we have the opportunity for a greater experience of our physical bodies? Yes, you're right. So what does that mean? How can this show up for us? What's possible? Can we be made whole? Is it just unlimited that our bodies can be healed of anything? Yes, you're right. Jesus showed us in extremes with healing after healing after healing after healing after healing. In 1 Corinthians 15:44, it says, if there is a natural body, there's also a spiritual body. So do you assume the spiritual body to be anything but whole and complete? And do you assume it to be anything but that, perfect and whole? right? So if our reality is our spiritual body, then doesn't it stand to reason that we can allow that reality to express as us? Yes? Okay, just want to make sure we're still, okay. That we can be healed, or that we can have a greater experience of health. Because sometimes, my friends, healing may not come in physical healing. It comes in a spiritual healing as well. But we, the closest thing to our bodies is our minds. And so we have to become aware of this. So what did our elder brother Jesus say? When he would go about and people would be healed, he said, "It is your faith that has made you whole." So I cannot talk about healing, and as I've shared with you, as I'm, 6 weeks out here, I want to share things that have really been valuable in my own life. And Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, you guys, we wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for Myrtle Fillmore. And Myrtle Fillmore's healing. Myrtle Fillmore was diagnosed with tuberculosis at a young age, and at the age of 30-something-ish, she was told that she only had 6 months to live in a time that tuberculosis was a death sentence. She tried all kinds of avenues, and she went to a talk by Dr. E.B. Weeks and came away with this affirmation, and many of you know this affirmation: "I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit illness," because she had been told that she inherited tuberculosis. Now, let's look at how we can change this up a little bit for anything in our life. I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit lack. I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit abusive relationships. I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit fill in the blank, disharmony, low self-esteem, limiting ideas. So I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit these from my past. This is how we can tell them to get behind us, because they don't have any real power in our life. But let's go now to Myrtle, because what she did is so powerful. And she stayed with it. She said, "God revealed to me that my body was intelligent and that I could direct and praise it and it would respond. He was giving me his life, substance, and intelligence, and I was to use them even more freely than I had used the blessings my earthly father had given me." She said, "I went to all the life centers of my body and spoke words of truth to them, words of strength and power." How often are we doing this? How often are we speaking words of truth and power to all the life centers of our body? I asked their forgiveness for their foolish, ignorant course that I had pursued in the past, when I condemned them and called them weak, inefficient, and diseased. And I know none of us ever say anything negative about our bodies, right? Never. And think about this body. Paul and I were having this conversation yesterday, and we just got really just deeply into it, and just the reality of what is happening in your body at this moment. Everything that is working, you're not even having to think about it. You're just sitting here, you're breathing, your blood is circulating, you're seeing, you're listening, you're thinking, you're swallowing. You're not thinking about any of that, right? You're not thinking, "Man, come on, blood, keep on flowing. Come on, heart, keep on pumping." It's a miracle. Our bodies are miraculous. They're miraculous. So we need to be aware of the power of our thoughts and our words about our body. Myrtle says that your body is like a child. It needs constant prompting and training and discipline and praise and appreciation. So how many of us have heard of Masaru Emoto? Yeah, if you haven't, I really encourage you just to kind of, go online and look this up. He did this water experiment, and what came out of this experiment was that the water structure and the resulting ice crystals are affected by the words, thoughts, and emotions directed towards it, with positive influences leading to beautiful crystals, and with negative influences leading to kind of wah. And so you can see here how, you look at thank you and wisdom and faith and eternal and angel, and then you make me sick, and these words. Just think. Here's the thing, you guys. I mean, we have between 70 to 90% we're made up of water. Yes. Holy schmoly! Doesn't that bring it to a whoa? What am I thinking about my body? Because whatever I'm thinking, I'm saying about it. I may not be saying it outwardly, but I'm I'm saying it. That's the impression. So why would we not? And if you haven't seen the movie What the Bleep, that movie is so much, it's all about this. And that's where I learned about Masaru Emoto. So, and again, what were we told? Be transformed by the renewal of your mind, of our minds. I love, there's a song that Karen Drucker has. We're doing a couple of Karen Drucker songs, and I wanted to do them today because we haven't done Karen Drucker in a while, and I want you all to know Karen Drucker is an awesome New Thought artist. She does a lot of chant stuff, and so go check her out if you haven't. But she has this song, and it's called I Look Good. And it's, I've got this new little game, it's the latest rage. It's not limited by race, creed, color, or age. I stand in front of the mirror every day. I look at myself from head to toe and simply say, I look good, 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 I look good. I am the only me that will ever be. I look good. How many of us stand in front of the mirror and go, oh, baby, you look good? How many of us stand in front of the mirror and go, oh, wow, look at those, look at the wrinkles there, look at the... We've got to change how we're viewing this holy temple if we want it to support us as we move through life, as we mature, right? We've got to be aware of what we're saying about it. And here's one of the things that she said, because this is a big one for us. She said, I did not become discouraged at their being slow to wake up, but kept right on, both silently and aloud, declaring the words of truth until the organs responded. And neither did I forget to tell them that they were free, unlimited spirit. I told them that they were not corruptible flesh, but centers of life and energy omnipresent. In 2 years, she was completely healed, and she lived to be in her 80s or 90s, I can't remember, but so it's keep on keeping on. You know, we do good for a few weeks, you know, like, you know, can say good things about our bodies, and then it's like, you know, then stay with it is my point. You gotta keep on keeping on. Another vital point here when it comes to our health, and something that we really need to think about, is she said, I also saw that I was using the life of the Father and thinking thoughts and speaking words, and I became very watchful as to what I thought and said. I did not let any worried or anxious thoughts into my mind, and I stopped speaking gossipy, frivolous, petulant, angry words. What? It's a big deal, though. And being aware, again, of it's not just what we're saying about our bodies, it's what are we carrying inside, you know, because what we're carrying inside is affecting our bodies. James Allen from As a Man Thinketh said, strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. The body is a delicate and plastic instrument which responds readily to the thoughts by which it is impressed, and habits of thoughts will produce their own effects, good or bad, upon it. If you would perfect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. And doesn't it really feel better when we have good thoughts? When we're embracing the beauty of what's all around us, it just feels better, doesn't it? So let's get there more often. So your prescription for health is fill your mind with loving thoughts towards your body. Do good things for your body. Rest. How many of us need to rest a little bit more and give ourselves a break? Do it. Exercise, dance, walk, yoga, tai chi, qigong, play, meditate, get a massage, acupuncture, pick up earthing, going out and being barefoot on the earth more, laugh more, sing out loud, think and talk about things that make your heart sing. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. It tells us in Proverbs that says a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up them bones. So find ways to bring more joy into your daily experience. And forgive, my friends, forgive. Do what you can to forgive and to release those resentments. Don't carry those around with you, because you're the one that's carrying the weight of that. Just let the life and the strength of God flow through you. So we're going to say this together. Myrtle Fillmore actually said this. I thought I had it up there. I feel the life and strength of God flowing through me now, okay? I feel the life and strength of God flowing through me now. And say this over and over and over and over and over. And the more that you say it, the more you're going to start to believe it and the more you're going to feel it. And when you start to feeling it, you're going to start seeing changes in your physical body. So leads us to the second thing that I want to touch on today, living and loving life now. The scripture for today is, this is the day that God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. What a beautiful way to wake up, right? I'm going to rejoice and be glad in this day. So there is this school of thought that the more we suffer in this life, the more glory we're going to have when we die and go to heaven. I think probably some of us were raised with that. Well, in Unity, we don't believe that. We believe that we are living in the midst of eternity right now. And the question is, am I really living? Am I really living in the midst of the eternal now? Oliver Wendell Holmes said, to be 70 years young is sometimes more cheerful than to be 40 years old. So I love it. Papa Harry, and many of you knew him, but he was 97, 98 when he passed away. Just, if you didn't ever get to meet Harry, I'm sorry, because he was an amazing gentleman. And he would, I'm 98 years young. He had that consciousness. Okay, so we have a saying here. It's, my life is good, and it just keeps getting better. And the purpose of that statement is to encourage us to be present to our lives. So I looked at, what are some of the stories of people who were facing their imminent death? And, well, not some of the stories so much, but what was in their thinking? And some of what I read was they would stop to think, now that I am facing death, what does life mean to me? Who am I? Who and what matters most to me? With the time I do have left, what do I really want to do? Whose opinion really matters? And these are not questions that we want to wait to ask until we're facing our death, but that we're embracing life. So today I want to encourage us not to face our imminent death, my friends, but to face our imminent life and to live it. Jesus said in John 4:35, do not say 4 months and then the harvest. I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields now. They are ripe for harvest. It's here for us now. And here's what I want to say. I think for those of us who maybe are on the path that I'm going to be going on soon, to move into retirement. I've been the young woman, I've been the mom, the stay-at-home mom, I've been the working mom, and had a career. And now I get to, finally go, I don't have to do anything. But it's easy to get really caught up in the stress of life when you're in the midst of raising children and working and all of this kind of stuff. And I want to tell you from experience that stress can really play havoc with your physical body. And so I want to encourage you to do if you can't slow down on what you're doing, find ways to de-stress. Give yourself those gifts to de-stress, because that's going to make such a difference in the long run. If you love to go, Kelly Mountain goes and listens to music all the time, and I just love seeing her post about that, and Georgia does that too. I mean, Dwayne goes for walks and runs, and Norma Vincent goes and does ballroom dancing, and or come and do chair yoga on Thursday mornings, or there's so many things that we can do that can get us into that space where we let go of the stress. So I'm going to share with you some unlimited compellments, and I don't know if we'll make it through all of them. But thou shalt know, first of all, that God is. Always the first thing, God is. You're not alone. So one of the things in really embracing life is knowing that you're not alone. Number 2 is thou shalt know that life is good because God is good all the time. We live in a friendly universe. Life is for us. God is for us. There's only one presence and one power in the universe. And we say this every week. But it's so important as we embrace life, because guess what? We're going to have things come up in our lives, right, that feel overwhelming and that feel like they're against us. For many of us, we're feeling that way right now as a whole in our country. For many people are not feeling that, but many of us are. So it's really important to remember, but none of this is against me. All of this is for me, and all of this is for us. And I love, and I remember when Michelle Johnson was working as the administrative assistant, and I would always say to her, things are always working out for you, Michelle, because things were always working out for her. And so things are always working out for me. Let's say that together. Things are always working out for me. Doesn't that feel good? Things are always working out for me. Let's say it that way. Things are always working out for me. Claim that and know that, yeah. 3, thou shalt know that at their core, all people are good. It's easy to say yes to that, isn't it? It's another thing to always look at everybody and go, are you sure? But they are, because we've all come from the one source. Okay, number 4 is thou shalt let go and surrender. People who are facing their imminent death let go easier of the past and the future. They no longer allow past events to define them, and that's the choice that we have in this moment, to let go of those past hurts and past regrets. So 4A is let go of the past. We must quit using our past as a way to stay small and to stay in victimhood. Right? Because as long as we're blaming somebody else for where we're at today, we've lost our power. Right? We go back to 1 and 2. There's only God, and God is for me. Then let go of the future. You know, worry is reverse prayer. Are we really having faith when we're in worry? No. It's okay. We're going to worry. I'm always like, let's not be like ridiculous here and say, I'm never going to have a worried thought in our lives. Of course we are. We just don't want to live there. You know, I was thinking about that, you know, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and there's the thought of don't buy real estate there. But sometimes I may take an RV and park there a while. I'm wallowing in my stuff. It's okay, as long as I move out. Yeah, that's life. So don't be hard on yourself, but let's make sure we're going to move up and out too. Number 6, thou shalt not regret failure. Mary Pickford says, today is a new day. You will get out of it what you put into it. If you have made mistakes, there's always another chance for you. And supposing you have tried and failed again and again, you may have a fresh start at any moment that you choose. For this thing we called failure is not the falling down, but it's the staying down. It's the defining. Look at me, I am a failure. You've had a good time playing the game, you're a winner even if you lose. And I always say, you know, failure is simply feedback. I mean, that's how we've done, you know, work in our office. It's like when things come up and we're like, ugh, it's always like, it's okay, it's just feedback, because we can do better, you know, from this point. Number 7, thou shalt not fight for your limitations. Sorry. Say, yes, I can. Don't fight for keeping yourself small. Don't fight for keeping yourself in a place that you don't want to be, because this is what it's always been. So I'm just going to share with you from a personal perspective, because I've shared with you that I deal with fibromyalgia. And I've had some really bad days and lately, and I had like 6 bad days in a row. And I want to tell you, when I was in that place, I just felt like this is what my life is going to be. And, you know, thank goodness my loving husband, who can be just is so present to me, but he would also be, honey, I don't want you to think that this is what your life is going to be. And I could feel myself wanting to fight for that limitation and say, but this is what it is right now, you know. And it's like, no, don't fight for your limitations, whatever they are. You know, continue to do the work that is yours to do, to bring about the experiences that you, and remember that infinite possibilities absolutely exist. Number 8, be true to yourself. This is authenticity and diversity. Thank God for diversity, right? I mean, how can we not embrace diversity when we're sitting in a room of all diverse people, in a world of diverse people, of diverse everything? So be true to yourself. Number 9, recognize your blessings. We talked about this last week and how important it is to be present to what you're grateful for. We are so blessed. Number 10, thou shalt say, I love you often. Say it every day. And say it, you know, I was watching something the other day and she said, you know, there's a difference between love ya and I love you. And it's okay if you can only say love ya. That's great. But make sure that you're letting the people in your life know that you love them. Don't assume that they know that. Okay, so number 12a, and older people will get this, thou shalt use the good china. Because probably younger people don't have china. You shall make the repairs to your home that make you feel good. Don't do things because that's what's going to make the house sellable later. It always blew my mind because it's like, how many people, when they're going to sell their house, do all the things to their house they always wanted to do? We can relate, right? Do those things now. Make your house your house. Make your house your home. You shall never lose your sense of wonder. Thou shalt spend more time watching the beautiful sunsets, taking walks, spending time with your partner, kids, and friends. Nurture those relationships. And I will say this, that for people who are facing their imminent death, the most important thing to them were the people in their lives. So don't lose that now. Make sure that you're nurturing that. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, but it's the life in your years. So at the age of 94, this is what Charles Fillmore said. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and move forward with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. Is there anybody here who's 94? Oh, it's right! You live this, Don. Wow. You absolutely live this, and you continue to write these beautiful poems and create. He created this most beautiful bench for our silent auction. It is going to be a fight. We're going to be standing at the thing when it's ready to stop because that bench is so gorgeous. So, yes. And so let's say this together. This is how we're going to close today, because at any age, it's important to say this. Okay, together. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and move forward with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. So go live your life in the best possible way, in the most healthy way. And I love you guys, and namaste, namaste. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo! All right. This is kind of crazy. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this off. I think it is. Holy schmoly. Okay, so I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward and our band. And as they do, I do want to say that, our ministry, we are in a crisis right now financially, and we need to be aware of that. And all of us can do our part in helping to support this ministry financially, so that not only we can take care of what is here to take care of today, but so that we can be here for everybody who is ready to come to Unity and to hear this empowering message. There are many ways you can give. We are going to be kind of making those less as time goes on, because it does cost the church money to have some of these ways. But I want to encourage us to take our gifts in our hands, or if you give online, to take the energy of that gift and let's share in our gift blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And thank you, God.
All right, announcements. Meditation is tonight at 6 p.m., and it is open to everyone. We also will have the monthly board meeting tomorrow. That will be March 31st. Everyone is welcome to attend, and guests are asked to arrive at 6:20 p.m. Paul, do you have some announcement here? It's in my notes. That's how I knew.
Well, this Tuesday is it is going to be the first Tuesday of the month in April. And every first Tuesday of the month, we have a men's group. And it's at 6 to 8 p.m. here. And it's a small group, but it's a really, really great group. So I want to invite all men to come and really celebrate with us. We always take the time to check in. It's about support for each other. And we always have a potluck. And contrary to what Mitch says, I've never seen a Dorito at the men's group potluck.
Because I haven't shown that.
Oh, okay. But I encourage you, if you want to bring a bag of Doritos, Mitch, we would welcome that.
Any flavor in particular? Do you have a favorite? Sweet barbecue ranch?
I don't know, a little bit spicy maybe. So we always do have great food and great dessert, and we often have a topic that we're going to be talking about. And I heard through the grapevine that on this, John was going to be passing out $100 bills, and it's April 1st, so I guess that's appropriate. So we do encourage you to come, and make sure to come, because Don shows up every men's group meeting, so if you want to be blessed by Don, show up.
Thank you, Paul. The Unity Drum Circle meets the first and third Thursdays each month at 6:30 p.m. So this Thursday, bring your drum and join us. If you don't have a drum, we do have extras. And we will not have a Friendship Sunday potluck next Sunday because we will be setting up for the yard sale right after service. Lunch will be provided for all those who stay and help. Retribution will be provided for those of you who don't. And we will continue accepting donations until the sale. Next Sunday, in the New Thought and World Religion class, Paul Day will present Opening Heaven's Door, based on the book by Patricia Pearson. The class begins at 9:15 a.m. And we are swiftly approaching the Planet Unity, which is our annual Earth Day celebration and our biggest fundraiser. This 2-day event is packed full of music, education, a secret speakeasy with a hidden high-stakes poker game, food, vendors, and so much more. Please help us get the word out by liking and following our Planet Unity Facebook page. Once you're on the page, please like us and share all the activities. Spread the word. The last day to pre-order your Planet Unity t-shirt is next Sunday. We will have a few extras for sale at the event, but pre-ordering guarantees you'll get the size that you want. Please put your name on the list in the foyer. And if you're collecting trinkets for the Planet Unity Tiny Trinket Treasure Egg Hunt, please bring your trinkets by next Sunday, April the 6th. There's an egg stuffing party on April 8th beginning at 4 p.m., and we have 3,000 eggs to stuff, so please come help us. 3,000, that's a lot. Please help us out. That was a big number, all those zeros. We are excited to announce that Rachel Lee is our new Junior Sunday School Coordinator. Yay! She is a wonderful addition to our youth program, so please welcome her the next time you see her. All right, if you would please stand and join us in our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.